Hey guys, and welcome back to Stretford Paddock, where we're going to be talking about the team news that's just come out for the Manchester United-Arsenal game. One of the biggest games of the season, as it always is. I think for me, honestly, the Arsenal game is a bigger rivalry than the Man City game, frankly. But there we go. So I'm Patrick, and I've got James with me today, making his Stretford Paddock debut. How are you feeling?
Right? I'm looking forward to it. I really do want us to win.
Yeah.
I really think that it's important.
So let's get straight into the first team. So we've got De Gea starting, as expected, alongside Maguire and Lindelof, which has been a favoured centre-back partnership now. Twanzebe on the right, which I'm excited to see.
Absolutely.
Young on the left. Pogba and McTominay in that midfield pivot. Lingard in the cam position, presumably, because he tends to play Pereira, who's also starting on the right. Daniel James on the left, who is, I think, a big game we need from him. And Marcus Rashford, who I think has come under a lot of criticism recently. Perhaps not all fair. He is only 21, and we know that progression and development as a player isn't linear, so he will have ups and downs. But leading the lineup, I think the big story about him is the fact that he's starting after having an injury so soon. Do you think there's a danger that, because he does tend to be worn down quite a lot, do you think there's a danger there?
There's definitely a danger. And some of these Arsenal players are not the most technically gifted, should we say. Yeah. So some of these tackles might be rough, and that's not ideal. I would really like to have seen Greenwood starting. I think it would have been great to have Rashford on the bench, ready to come on 60 minutes in, kind of bring that energy, diving between the lines. But I think Rashford's a great player, and I really hope he can kind of perform on this stage.
I think Rashford has come through a lot on like big occasions, right? Like the Paris game, he didn't have a great game, but when it came down to it, he was the one who said, "This is my penalty. I'm taking it, no question." I think that there certainly is a lot of potential here for him to say, I've heard you've all been chatting about me. He's going to. There's a potential here for him to silence it, to have a game like he did against Liverpool. Remember, like a couple of seasons ago, where he silenced people. But I think that my concern was I was expecting Greenwood to start. I wanted Greenwood to start just because he's been in such a good run of form lately. Yeah. And I'd have loved to see Aubameyang bodied by Greenwood. That would have been excellent. But there we go. And I think it is a risk, but one that has a massively potential reward if it comes through. But on the flip side, 50-50.
Well, and this is the other risk. It's kind of playing Lingard, who, I mean, frankly, for a while now has not been performing particularly well, and you've put him before Mata, big call. And you put him before Gomez, and you know Gomez
not being on the bench either.
No, well, exactly.
I think there was stuff about him being injured or ill for the Carabao Cup game, which maybe comes through there. Just going to look at some of the comments there. Maybe Rojo at left back would have been a better choice. Now, this is something I've seen a lot. People really tend to like Rojo now because he's a bit of a shithouse, which is cool, and I'm there for it.
Yeah,
I think when I was watching the Rochdale game, when we were there, he has like zero positioning whatsoever. Yeah, he has zero idea of what's going on. He might play with passion, which is great, but I just don't think he's good enough necessarily to defend against Aubameyang. Maybe Pepe will have a good game.
Well, we need to see. Yeah, Pepe's got a lot.
And I think that's certainly my key player for Arsenal. The fact, especially since Ceballos isn't playing, Aubameyang, he's the major threat. Do you think he can break down our back line, which on its day is one of the better ones in the league?
I really do want to see this backline perform. You know, it's a real shame that Wan-Bissaka's not in the team. He's incredible. Maguire has shown himself to be a great defender, real great reader of the game. But he hasn't really had the test of kind of pace and quick passing that Arsenal will bring necessarily. So it's a big game for him as well. And also De Gea. De Gea's probably going to be facing a fair amount of shots today. And he really needs to not allow any of the mistakes that we've maybe seen in the past at the end of last season to slip into his game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's crucial.
Twanzebe on the right is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Instead of going with Rojo at left back and Young at right back, which probably would have been like the safe option, he's taking risk on this young Manchester United defender who matured a lot in his days at Aston Villa. And I think he shows the light for a lot of players, perhaps Chong, for example, where these players should be going out to the Championship to develop as footballers. Twanzebe was really interesting to me because obviously he captained the team against Rochdale. I think if he continues his development, I think he could be like potential captain material. He seems to have the mentality, and I think he's got that growing physicality and growing development as a footballer. He looks comfortable on the ball. I'm really excited to see him in this game and see how he goes.
Totally. I think he's got like you say, this leadership ability. That's why I'm excited for him to be playing as opposed to someone like Rojo, who is very much a follower as opposed to a leader.
Absolutely.
Tuan Zabi wants to be calling out, giving this team a bit of rigidity and saying, come on, let's keep our heads. Let's really focus on the jobs we've got to do. Because if we are focused, especially in the back line, we shouldn't really be losing this game. It's about whether we can get the goals to win it, I think.
Do you think it's going to be a bit of an end-to-end game?
Potentially. It's got the makings of it, but it really does remain to be seen, because we can both maybe get big bogged down, especially without Ceballos playing. He's a real creative force.
With that idea that it's going to be an end-to-end game in mind, and perhaps it's not going to be a midfield dogfight like other games that we've seen, do you think this is the time you take a risk and play McTominay, Fred, Pogba as the cam?
I've said this on Twitter already. I really think I would have liked to have seen Pogba played in a more advanced role. Mm-hmm. We do not. It remains to be seen how fit Rashford is, but we don't have the attacking might to kind of not have him producing for us. Pulling him back, trying to keep. I really don't think that's how we're going to win this game.
Yeah, obviously Aaron Wan-Bissaka isn't playing. We've heard it's because he's been ill over the weekend, not like particularly injured. Although it's probably a good idea to rest him up as well. So it's not an issue because as if he's injured or something. So there's promising signs. Good point there from Joe. No Ozil or Lacazette in the Arsenal squad. Yeah. Ozil, really is not in favour in Unai Emery's good books. Lacazette, there has to be something going on there. I would have thought.
I think there must be an injury or something. There must be something going on because his partnership as well with Aubameyang.
I remember when Lacazette went to Arsenal, and as Arsenal fans do, they get overly hyped about a lot of stuff. We can't really talk as United fans now, but they get really hyped. Has Lacazette lived up to all those expectations? Or do you think he's certainly been in the shadow, considering Aubameyang is a quality player?
I think that's definitely been a struggle. I think maybe unlike what we've got at United, there's so much quality up top that Emery maybe doesn't know kind of what the best configurations are at all times to get the most out of all of the players.
Okay. Final score predictions. Hit me up.
I really want to believe that we can win this game. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to be kind of optimistic. I do think it's going to be a bit of a goal fest. Mm-hmm. So I think if we get a 2-1 result, 3-2, that would be really incredible. I'd also like to see a clean sheet, though. I think that'd be really important for the back line, for De Gea, to be able to say, look, we faced a great team and we managed to keep it clean. I
think it'd be nice to have a clean sheet. I don't think we can keep out Aubameyang, and it is purely Aubameyang for the whole game. I think it's going to be 2-1 to United, because you've got to predict that your team's going to win. You've got to back them, otherwise what's the point in watching it? Although I could see it being like a 2-2 as well. I don't know if we've got 3 goals in us, honestly. But thanks for joining in, guys. We are going to have the watch along with Joe McGrath from XS Radio on with us as well. It's going to be a good watch along. One of the biggest games of the season, one of the biggest rivalries in the Premier League era. So be sure to tune in, have us on in the background while we're watching the game, so you can catch some good reaction. And we'll see you in a bit. Cheers.
Thanks.